Hi friends, welcome to ESQ Masterclass. I'm your host John Ting. I have my own law firm here in Houston, Texas. We are Ting Law Group. Today we're talking about payment options. This is part of our contract series that we're presenting to you. I would like to share a little background on the type of payment options I offered, but I wasn't actually too strategic about it. I didn't actually understand why I was even offering in the first place. So usually we offered something where it's, let's say, 5,000 for adjustment, and then be a half down, so 2,500 when the person wants to sign a contract, and the other half, the other 2,500, when they sign all the forms, which to the client means that we're going to mail the package to USCIS. Now, let's say for removal proceedings, we would accept payment plans because reasonably, the case is gonna take a while. It'll take a couple of years if it's non-detained, right? So we always thought, okay, we'll just accept payment plan for those type of cases. There's no reason to ask for everything up front, or it's not really a staggered situation where it's half up front and then half at time of signing forms, or half at time of maybe filing 42B. So we've been strategic on the reasoning and our presentation of our payment options. So we have three payment options. This first one is called world class option. Second one is a VIP option. And the third one is the value option. You have to give some kind of name to these so that your team also can remember and quickly say to a client or amongst a team which one this client has chosen. I just don't recommend choosing something like platinum, diamond. If you presented something like world class, then you give the perceived value that you're offering additional service. At the end of the day, whether it's any of those options, you're really giving the same service. So with the world class option, it's going to cost more to the client. However, I remember when a client came to our office and it was a waiver type of case, and we asked for the evidence for hardship, and I noticed they had a taken out a loan, and I asked, "Oh, what was this for?" And they said, "Actually, they pay you." And I felt horrible. I figured, what other way can I offer a payment option so that they don't even have to take out a loan? Now, although the world class option will ultimately be more expensive, we're not going to have them sign off so that they can give away collateral if they default. Client's going to stick with you as long as you're being very selective with your clients and can tell if they're credible, telling the truth, then they'll most likely going to pay you because their case, especially for a waiver type of case or a 751, is going to take so long that they're bound to finish the payment before the case is complete anyway. So for example, we charge $300 per hour for non-immigration cases. So we're going to take that $300 and apply that as a monthly fee. Now, of course, we do ask for a significant deposit instead of just a monthly fee of 300 as a deposit. But let's say after that deposit, or let's say give example of $1,500, we refer to the USCIS processing table, right? Their timeline. And so a 751 case, I'm just gonna guess, let's say it takes 20 months. And so 20 months times 300, that's $6,000. Most clients may not want to pay the $300 per month, but it is an option for them if they don't have the entire lump sum of let's say your original standard fee is 3,000. So they still save a lot because they're only paying 1,500 as a deposit and then a monthly fee of $300 after that. Now, what we've done in the past before when it related to monthly fee is that, hey, we're going to charge you an actual late fee of $100 per month. And that didn't really change the behavior of the client in terms of encouraging them to select the VIP plan or the value plan. Our main goal ultimately is to get paid everything up front. And so that option is a value plan. That's a third option. And so the value plan is the one that we actually offer a reduction. And I'll tell you why. Haven't you had the client or potential client come into your office? You had the wonderful consultation, everything looks good. You can offer them a contract, and then bam, they ask you for a discount. The dreaded word. Sounds very disgusting, disrespectful, right? But it took us a couple years to try to change our mindset. And we finally realized that we should offer a reduced rate to begin with, in addition to other options, so that they don't even have to ask you for the discount. Because once they start asking for discounts, I'm pretty sure you don't have a good feeling at all. So to keep the flow going and to make sure the client signs a contract as soon as possible, and there's no back and forth about you deciding with your team or your partner, how much should we offer as a reduction? Forget it. You need to set this as a fixed situation for every type of case. So, for example, we offer 3% reduction of whatever our second plan is, which is a VIP plan. So, let's say the VIP plan is normally $3,000 for a 751 case. And that's the value the amount you always ask for. It would obviously go below 3,000 if you give a 3% reduction. But if you absolutely have a bottom floor of 3,000, then go a little higher for your middle plan, your VIP option. Go to like 3,250. So 3% of 3,250 is $97.50. So the flip side of that calculation is 3,152 and 50 cents. Now, I know I don't like to get cents involved, but the point is, at the end of the day, if the client picks a third payment option, and that's the value option, where you get all the money up front, that is still above your normal original rate. Assuming your original rate for 751 application, remove conditions, was 3,000. Of course, I get it. Depends on your standard of living, cost of living, wherever you're at. If you're in California, it's going to be probably much higher. They may be appreciative of that option, of the world class option, because they can pay you a monthly fee, but they may wait and be more strategic about this and say, gather up as much as you can, wait a couple weeks of wages, and sign up and start the case in a couple weeks, right? You can tell them that that's great. How about you sign a contract today anyway? And once you're ready to pay us, that's when the representation will actually start. It doesn't start the day they sign the contract. It's actually when they pay you the deposit. So I wouldn't be too fearful or hesitant on that situation. So at the end of the day, with the immigration practice, it's a high volume practice. Once you get into flow of consultations, you may not remember that particular potential client that came into your office, or you had the video conference 2 weeks ago, even though you have notes in your system. At least I hope you do. That'll be a different episode we'll share. So especially when you offer the reduced rate with the value option and also the VIP option, because you're accepting more of the payment up front, the potential client may need a couple more weeks to gather the funds, but you want them to sign the contract the day you have the consultation. So we'll talk more about that in a different episode, but want to share that right now because a lot of people let the potential clients go and you don't get them hooked in. You don't get them invested by at least signing their name on the contract. That's very important. The amount of money you already spent on marketing to get that person in the consultation, and then you've let them walk out the door because they just didn't have the money available, but they had all the facts lined up for you. These days, it's rare to see facts of a case where it's all lined up and it doesn't require a waiver and it's just perfect, right? There always seems to be some kind of issue that we need to resolve. So the other thing about the world-class option, it seems that a lot of attorneys are not used to that, right? Everything's changing with our immigration practice, especially this past 4 years. And cases have been delayed, have been extended, just longer processing times. We all know it shouldn't take that long, especially for a 751 case. And the fact that they mail a receipt notice that says that their status extended for 18 months instead of the prior 12 months, that's a good way of telling your client that, hey, your case is going to take a long time. So this is why we have this option of the world class, that you can pay a monthly fee of $300 per month or whatever your hourly fee is, and just convert it to as a monthly fee, because you're continually always providing an update about their case. I would increase the touch points with the client. So don't just wait until you receive an actual notice from immigration to contact them. At least send them an automated email. Of course, you can check the email before you send it, but have a template set up so everyone in this type of case category receives it. So they can, on their side, on the client side, they can feel like, oh, my law firm, my law attorney, they're just giving me an update that, hey, there really is nothing going on, but they're aware of my case. Because you don't want the client to think that you're not going to contact them until it's literally 18 months later. Okay, there's a lot of things that you can share with the client, like, okay, let's um, here's a quick checklist of updated evidence we need in case there's going to be requests for evidence. So now I've explained all three payment options, and you're probably thinking, well, which one would they really pick? They probably don't want the world class option. I really don't. It's been rare for any of my clients to actually pick the world class option, and that's because ultimately it's going to be more expensive. Sometimes it could be double the way we estimate it, and we estimate it based on at the time of them signing the contract or the time we're offering the contract. We check the processing time of, let's say, the I-130. If it involves a waiver, we'll include that for the 601A. And then we'll add 2 more months at least for the consular processing, even though, especially these days, it could take a lot longer. So last time I checked, I believe there was, let's say, like 10 months for the petition and then another 8 to 10 months for the waiver. So let's just say it's 20 months right there and then another 2 months for the consular processing. So let's say it's 22 months times your hourly fee of 300. That goes to 6,600. So let's just assume your standard fee is 5,000 for that type of case. And so it's going to be more than your standard fee. So let's say 5,000 is for your VIP option. And now to calculate your value option to get paid all up front, we take 3% from the 5,000. Okay, so that's 4,850. Now, of course, cost of living, it could be your practice area, wherever your practice is located, it could be more expensive. So these days, with cases taking much longer and clients asking more of your time, and usually they want answers from you within 24 hours. So, but you might be asking, well, what happens when the case is completed much sooner? So, for example, we got a 751 case approved earlier this year, a couple months ago, within about 5, 6 months. In this situation, the monthly fee wouldn't make sense. But that's why you have to have in your contract that you have a provision where it says, you have the monthly fee. It's going to be the greater of the total calculated monthly fee option or the VIP option, because your VIP option is your standard rate. So if we go back to the 751 example where it's $300 a month and you charge 300 times 5 months, that's only 1,500, right? You shouldn't be charging only 1,500 for removed conditions anyway. In the contract, it has to say the greater amount of the VIP option, your standard rate. So in this situation, let's just say 3,000, or the world class option, because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you only get paid 1,500. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you're able to offer these options, or at least 2 of the 3 of these options, and see some results. And do a trial period. Offer these options for the next, let's say, 5 consultations, or the next 5 related to a specific case type. Try out for the adjustment of status, concurrent filing, and try out for the 751 cases. It's a little bit more difficult for the removal cases because those, of course, take even much longer, potentially if it's not detained. Try a pilot program for that and tell me how it is. Leave a comment below about it. We'd love to hear from you. If you're new to our channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And go ahead and smash the like button. Until next time, please stay safe.